Ah. All right. All right. Let's get into this. I got so much work to do. I meant to get more done. What was it, yesterday? And it just ended up not getting any done, not any real work done. So this is gonna be a productivity stream. Productivity. Hopefully. Hope it's gonna be productivity. All right. Oh. 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 All right. Uh, oh boy. Feel like we won't actually copy and paste. We'll just go get the days for this. So I think this is fine as is. Advent of code. I don't think we're going to. No. What is it called? No prompt engineering. All right. We're going to do that in each of the languages. So, one of the things I realized was each one of these tests has to be done for each language and each thing. So like this is actually wrong, the C Sharp Go Java, because I actually have to do Advent of code for C Sharp Go Java, JavaScript, Python, Rust, Swift for Copilot, and then for all the rest. A little bit more than I was thinking. I did already start this. Yeah. So now you can see here, like inside of day 5, it's C Sharp, and we have a ChatGPT Code Whisperer. So like this is the C Sharp project for each one of these, and then these are the Go project for each one of these. It's a complete nightmare. I was thinking if like I was trying to think of a way to avoid this nightmare. But I really couldn't. Not that I know of. Yeah. And I was like, maybe we don't have to use every single one, like, ChatGPT. But then I was like, then it's not really a fair comparison. We want to see how each one of these does with each language because we could just pick a language. But then, I figured we'd get the thing, oh, well, you used Rust, and, that one doesn't do Rust well, but it's really good with everything else. And Maybe that's true. I don't know. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make sure that this stays streamlined, where it's a lot of just we copy and paste and we move on. If it didn't get it, it didn't get it. If it got it, it got it. Have I not prepared enough? That's probably true. All right. So I think Advent of Code is kind of done. It just needs to be run. Active feedback is one that we still need to work on. Let's actually pull up the doc here for this. 1 second. Cone of silence. 1 second. We had some loose notes here. I'm not sure. I feel like the repo is now more up to date than this, but we'll just test or we'll look. So the active feedback, we had test code correlation. Is this the only thing that we can do? So I feel like this isn't the only thing we can do in our active feedback tests. Let's come back to that one and let's think about it. So basically what I want with this active feedback, let's at least start with the README. When we're testing the AIs for their active feedback, I want to test their ability to give you good recommendations in your code editor. So a lot of these other ones, like the Advent of Code and the competitive coding, really are testing their ability to understand a large block of code and not their active feedback as you're typing. So I want the active feedback to be one that's actually testing the active feedback. I have code correlation there, which is one of the things that we can do. That I think is important for that active feedback. So basically understanding the things it's written previously and correlating those around. But there's some other things that we need to also do, like the active feedback should have common best practice. Like if I've imported, a good one is imports. If I've imported library X to do SQL, it should use library X to do SQL and not some other library. I feel like that's another good test. So let's start writing these down. Let's see. We need a new file. Hey Russell, how are you? You got more chance for the AI games? That's fantastic. Now, I actually have some good news. I will be announcing this on social media as well. I have some things to give away during the AI games for active participants. So that will be fun too. I don't know if we can work chance into that or not, but I will be sending these little bad boys out. They're RISC-V processors on a board. So prompting copy paste. Silly. This is the future of. If the AI fails, please don't ask me. It works in sales before 2023. All right, so maybe we need a list of chants to add to this repo as well. I need a chant command in Twitch. I'm now tempted to not do. I'm now tempted to not do Twitch, Twitch chat, Twitch commands, the hardest way, so that I can do it quickly. Maybe I can set that up tomorrow. That's. I'll have to look at that. Maybe we'll look at that later tonight. Let's pretend it got it right. Maybe an AI will help me write a Twitch chat bot the hardest way. Can I say it's the hardest way if I used an AI? I'm not sure if I can. Oh, British football chants. It it always confuses me how you guys call it football and yet your goalies use their hands. I feel like that's like like 90% football. And then they throw it back in with their hand. It's very confusing. Very confusing. You had to throw Tailwind in there too. Oh man, you must have had a good day. You must have had a good day. We'll both get binned. I don't know what the British word binned means. Like I understand the word like a bin, like you put clothes in a bin or flour in a bin or grain in a bin. Like I get what the word bin, but like I'm getting that we'll both get binned. Oh, it's fired. Okay, I was going to say by that context, I was getting that that was not not the right word, or not the right understanding of it. Um, all right, so active feedback tests. Okay, so we have a similar one in the U.S. It's called getting canned. That so I mean, like now it makes sense. Now that I've made that correlation, it's like the exact same thing: getting canned, getting fired. I know I'm camel casing this, and I in Rust we will not camel case. We'll do it code specific for each one. I mean, this is probably the more common. This is what we would do in Go. And uh, we'll just call this is person is dog older that takes a int dog and a int human and compares them, returning true if the dog is older. So what I'm really looking for here is for the AI to understand what this function is doing and recommend me use it in this function. That's I think that's a pretty good test. I think that's a fairly good thing. Then the other thing that I want to do here is write a test to test the dog years to human years function. We're wanting to see some of it. I know that this isn't going to be, some of this is subjective. Like, we're going to have a feel for how well it did compared to the others. I think that's where you guys are going to have to come in and help me on the day of. For these active feedback tests, basically, we're going to, I know we have the star rating, but basically it's just going to be like which one had the best feel for us as we went. We're going to be tried to be as objective as possible, but that's basically a downfall of this test. I was looking at how, so this is an interesting note because last week, a week before that, I was actually looking at how AI people judge how well they're doing. And I think it's actually kind of bad, to be honest. I actually think we need a better way. Because what they do is, well, let's say for example here. Let's start writing. All right. Let's say everything here was right except for Python. And I go ahead and accept this. So accept with tab, or you can do control and right arrow to accept one word. Oh, they have multiple options here now. That's cool. I don't know how to use the keyboard to cycle through these. I'll figure that out. Anyways, let's say I accept this, but then I change this to bash. That would count as an acceptance, but it's not a full acceptance, but they have no way to differentiate this, not at least in the things that I looked up and saw. There was no way to differentiate. I fully accepted what you wrote and it was right, or it was close, but it was wrong. So like, because a lot of times for me, it's close and it's close enough to accept it and then just update the little thing that it missed. Also, there are times when I will type, like, okay, it's here, and then I will accept it, but it is wrong altogether, and I just didn't realize it. I accepted before I realized that it was just wrong. So I don't think that how many times people accept your advice is the right way to understand how well it's doing. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe there's just not a better way at this point, but that's my feeling on it. That's just not a great way to quantify how well it worked. Now, maybe it's quantitatively better than what I'm doing, but yeah. Come on, can it come up with a fifth test? Come on. I mean, not really. This is not good. Okay, so for the next correlation test, so we're wanting to see if it can use something that's already in the code. Write a web server that takes a dog age and returns the age in human years. It's not the age of the human. It's just a relative number. Okay. So now we have a web function. How else can we correlate this? I think this is probably good enough for correlation, except for the import. So let's do this. For 6, we're going to import a SQLite database, and then 7 update web server to save queries in database. So again, this is just correlating if it realizes, if it's seen the import that, and can understand that that's what we want to use. All right. All right, so other active feedbacks here. Function correlation with a twist. What? Yes, please. What is your twist? What is your twist, good sir AI? No twist. The twist is that there's not a twist, but we said there was a twist. All right. Now, one thing I found in Rust is it won't use the standard library unless you already imported it. I don't know if there's a good test around this that we can do. But basically, it won't use a library unless if it's in the import list. Oh gosh, the twist is that everything needs to be stored in the opposite Indian than the machine that it runs. Oh gosh. I don't know that I want to do that live. I'm pretty sure I don't want to do that live. Yeah, okay, that's good joke. Good joke. No, it was a horrible joke. You gave me heart troubles. So I don't know if there's a good test around that where, like, does it understand standard libs? Does it but I don't know how to test this. Like, what is step 1? What do I try to write? Like, do I try to print something? Okay, that's a pretty good one. It doesn't work in Rust. You don't need anything, but like, try to print to console. Okay, let's try to print to a file. That's good because that should be like, every standard library should have some file access, like file IO. JSON file. Okay, try to, I'm going to say write to JSON file. Try to write to SQL. I won't do SQL. That's probably not a standard library. Network port is a good one. For try to ping Google, would that be a good network? Or do you mean like bind to a network port? Try to make REST request. We'll just leave it at that. I think that's probably good smattering of different things to try. Also, we're going to have to like make adjustments as we go. You know, some things might take too long, some things I think some of these will take a little while to get going, and then as soon as we get a pattern solved for like the first one, it will go much faster. The other thing with active feedback is this actually limits the playing field. If you noticed in these, we had like ChatGPT, CodeWhisperer, Cody, Copilot, StarCoder, and Tab9. I think the only ones that do active feedback at this point is Tab9, CodeWhisperer, and Copilot. So in this active feedback, the contestants are artificially limited. All right, cool. All right, let's think if we... I'm going to start making the directories for this active feedback test, and we can be thinking about if there's any other tests that we're dying to see here with regards to this. Understand standard libraries, function correlation. I'm sure there's stuff I'm not thinking about. All right, let's see. Now, how do we... Here, we did like each day, then the language, and then the different bots. I think we'll just follow with that. So actually what I'm going to do is just take this, copy this, and we're going to do this test with each language. The only thing is we got to delete some of these. And then maybe why I hate Go. I'll show you in just a second. We don't need ChatGPT. We don't need Cody. We don't need StarCoder. We'll delete those. We don't need ChatGPT, Cody, or StarCoder. ChatGPT, Cody, or StarCoder. I'm pretty sure I messed up doing this. Code Whisperer. No, ChatGPT, Cody, StarCoder. Is this the best way? Who knows? Probably everybody. ChatGPT. Cody, StarCoder. Cody, StarCoder. Do you know what something that really bothers me? Really bothers me. If you go and check this project out on GitHub, it says it's a C# project. Just because C# has so much bloat. Everything is like basically templated out to bare minimum project that runs a main function. We can see who's bloated-ish. I don't even actually know how this is true. I think it's true. Like, so I was looking at this and I was like, a C# project really only has this one program.cs. It only has one CS. But I'm guessing that it is referring to the solution, the CS proj file, yeah, I'm guessing it counts all three of these, because if you look at something like Java has way more garbage, but I don't think it gets counted. All this Gradle.bat, Gradle settings.gradle and Gradle and you know, your your Gradle bundle here and your Gradle stuff here with its Gradle wrapper jar, and it doesn't count any of those. It just counts like this. Anyways, I was just looking at that because I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But I think that's the only way that it makes sense. Is the only thing that counts against Java is this function right here. Now, because Go is a language made by the Google overlords, this is quite possibly the worst. What is it? I don't understand why Java is complaining right now. It was saying something, but I ignored it. It'll be fine. All right. The worst part about all of this is now to get Go to actually work, we have to update all of these, but it doesn't stop there. Not only do we have to update all of these, we have to then go update it in our Go work file as well. So this has always been a problem with Go, and it just is a super annoying pain. All right. Always been a super problem in Go. So then we got to go here, update this. And we've got to go here, except this one is Copilot. And then we've got to go here and update this. And this one is tab 9. And now we're going to take this and we're going to this. We're going to go here into the Go work. We're going to go down here and we're going to go use. Except we only need to start here. There we go. And now and code whisperer. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's Go for you. Absolutely fantabulous. All right. All right. Let's see. So dude, it's actually the most annoying thing because like I literally can't copy and paste the project. The best part about all the rest of these is they're just copy and pasted. I made all the boilerplate projects. So like we can go into Rust here in our Copilot and just start busting out some code. And it's fantastic. Now, you don't get IntelliSense here because you're not actually in the Cargo TOML project here. You'd actually have to open up this one if you wanted the actual developer experience. Because you have the Cargo TOML has to be in the root directory. Although we could make a workspace if we wanted to, but again, this is a fine application. The problem with Go is this isn't okay. And if you actually just went in here and tried to run this, it would say that it's not part of a workspace and that there's no module definition and it doesn't know how to compile its code. It's absolutely the worst. And Java just decided that it was upset. I need to... I don't even know what it's upset about, though. I think it was Gradle that was upset. Yeah, I think Gradle's upset. We'll try running one of the Java projects in just a second. They were working Tuesday. I used Maven, or not Maven. I used Gradle. So it seemed like the thing to do instead of Maven. I was gonna make a Maven project, but it didn't really matter to me. Gradle seemed easier. So I went with Gradle. It's what I used with my Android, so it's probably the thing that I'm most familiar with. I understand the Maven repositories, like that's not a problem, but I haven't touched Java for a really long time, and honestly, I've never compiled Java outside of Android, so that might be a little rough. We'll practice that in just a second. Make sure it all works. Let's actually go to do that. Okay, CD code, the AI games. We should just be able to go to any one of these. Day 5. Java. Doesn't matter. All right. So now, I don't even remember. How do I build with Gradle build Java prod? Gradle run. We want to run Gradle run Java. I did the Gradle init. That's how I did this, and I did it with all the pretty much standard stuff for Java. I didn't do Kotlin. We could have done Kotlin. All right. So how do I build it though? Yep, this is the main app that I got all templated out for me. That's it, right there. That's what it was. Fantabulous. What went wrong? A JNI error occurred. Please check your installation and try again. Prohibited package name, Java. Wait, did I pull like I named this thing Java? Because I'm pretty sure I named this thing Java when it asked me what name I wanted. Maybe I made a boo-boo. Yeah, see, like in main it's Java. Am I not allowed to do that? Is my app not allowed to be called Java? Can I not have package Java? Which one am I in here? I just picked a random one. Day 5. Let's play around with this. I thought this compiled last time. Let's go to Advent of Code, Day 5, Java. Which one was it that I was in? Cody. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to try to hand do this. Main class is we're going to rename this to not Java. Java's the worst. Is the worst. Feels good. I think I just need to rename this bad boy right here to Java is the worst. There we go. Now let's try running this. It didn't fail, but I'm pretty sure it's saying that I'm an idiot. Could not find Java is the worst. Oh, I have to actually name my app that. I think I have to make it capital to make it Java. No, that's a public class app. Oh, I misspelled Java in here. Oops. We'll just make that capital too. Does this fix it all up? No. Java is. Why not? I don't know what I'm doing. Do I need to update this package? Maybe I just need to do Gradle init again here. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just delete everything in Kodi, and we're going to try this again. Did I delete the folder Kodi? No. Okay, good. All right. All right. Which type of project? I said application. Then I selected 3, Java, which is the worst. Generate multiple I said no to this. Why would I make it more complicated? I think I just hit return here. I don't remember reading that. Same with this one. I just hit return. Project name. You know what? I think last time it was called Java. And this is why the default was Java. So I think we'll just have this as Kodi, and we'll see what that generates. I'm just going with it. Defaults. I'm pretty sure this is what I did last time, but because the folder name was Java, it kind of screwed things up. I wish there was an AI to help me with that. All right. Advent of code. Day 5. Java. Kodi. We're here. Now let's... All right. It's running again. Now I just have to update this wherever this is. This is taking so much of my time. Java, you're up there now with Go. The worst part is now each one of these really... Should I just go and regenerate each one of these? So like, because this one's now named like Kodi. It's that second one that's supposed to be Kodi. So that the package can stop being packaged Java. So Java was supposed to... I had this flipped. I removed Java from here and put the name here and left Java here. Needed to flip that. Okay. Got it. Can I just update these by hand? Would that be faster? Let's try it. Copilot. Here we go. We're going to jump in here. All right, so this should stay Java. This needs to be updated. Rename this not that folder. This folder. Rename this folder to... I don't know if that's renaming the right folder. It's just... Anyways. Instead of Java, we're going to go Copilot. All right. And then in our configuration of our build here, where was that? Here we go. This is going to be Copilot. Is this all we have to update? I don't know. Are you manually editing generate? Shut up. It's none of your concern. Maybe. All right, that didn't work. So we're going to plan B. Plan B is for each one of these directories, we're just going to delete this and regenerate it. Because I don't feel like going through and finding all of the different things that I need to update to make it work. Because Java is the worst. This is literally the worst. Application, Java, and then all of these were just the defaults. Touche. So this is why I like Rust, because everything in that project file, like, look at all this garbage. Like this, I just, there's like, I'm sure that there's a way to know all of where everything is and what I would need to edit to change its name. But it's literally going to be easier to just delete all of the stuff in here and regenerate it. That is sadly going to be the easiest way to do it. I think that's what makes um Rust's package management with Cargo just the best thing ever. There is no other language that I've touched that is such a joy. Even JavaScript has more garbage around its package manager than Rust does. It's so clean. Anything that's generated, you can edit, and it's amazing. Is the dot? I haven't gotten to .NET yet. Well, I mean, I did generate the project, but I haven't actually tested. Oh no, I deleted. Oh, I just deleted the files in CodeWhisperer. Oh, I thought I accidentally deleted CodeWhisperer. No, I actually wanted to delete those files. All right. And yeah, like I have varying knowledge of these. Writing Java, I'm probably pretty decent at writing straight Java. I'm not saying that I'll write the prettiest Java or whatnot, but like if you ask me to write Java that works, yeah. And you know, I don't know all of the libraries that well, but if you ask me for networking, like I know Netty was a pretty big one when I did it last, which was a pretty good networking library because they actually didn't destroy the garbage collector. There's also like OK HTTP and some other ones. But that was a long time ago, so like it probably wouldn't be pretty. And it's all around Android. I don't know, like the enterprise Java is way different than the Android Java. It's very hard to explain, but they're pretty different as far as libraries and stuff used. You know, like Spring. I've never used Spring. That was much more of an enterprisey thing. So after this, we'll try to run the .NET just to make sure it's all working. I think I broke something in the copy and paste. Which I'm about to try again, and we'll see if it works. What I want to do now is, now that I did this Java, can I take this and paste it on all the other ones? We're going to see. We're going to go in here, delete the Java from day 15, and then we're going to paste Java. Let's go test if day 15 works. Day 15, Java, ChatGPT. And then the test function should be this thing. Beautiful. So it's still better than Go, maybe. Still better than Go, possibly. As I can copy and paste it. I feel like the biggest problem with Go was that people got too okay with garbage. Like, there was some blatantly, up until like 1.20, we're talking about like 3 months ago. There was just missing pieces of a language. And like, I like Go for the most part, but there, like, I don't know. There's this part of me that's like, you couldn't criticize it for those things because people be like, oh, the simplicity. Go package modules is not simplicity. When, you know, before, like, what was it, 1.15 before Go modules, you could only point at latest. And that means, like, if you updated your application, you all of a sudden just got latest garbage. And, like, it would just break your application. And it wasn't simple. It was simple for a person just starting, maybe, but it wasn't actually simple to use. And that's the problem, is like, sure, its package manager is super simple. It's not simple to manage. I don't know. I was gonna say, when Java is a little bit easier like this, I feel like that should be a slap in the face to Go. Because yeah, like I can copy and paste this. Like if I copy and pasted Go, it would just fail on me. If I added it to a new location. You can't make a new project in a new location without defining it in a workspace. I mean, how dare you? And I like the concept of Go. So I think that people sometimes get the idea that I just never like anything, but it's usually because I actually use these things, and I don't like I don't like feeling like I need to just be okay with garbage just because I like 70% of the language. I actually think that there's a happy medium in between Rust and Go that could be awesome. Something where uh, you know, those 10% of things in Rust that are just so hard. Like what are you doing when you're pinning? And we could get into what you're doing with pinning, but could we have a small runtime garbage collection just for the things that you have to pin, so we don't have to worry about pinning or understanding why we pin something with a thread? I think that would be amazing, where it's like it is a hybrid between those two. I think you could get something like that. That could be pretty amazing. But yeah, all languages are flawed. It's actually it's an interview question I actually like doing. I know that sounds dumb, but I actually like whatever language somebody is coming into an interview with. I actually like to ask them what their least favorite things are. Because if somebody says that they're an expert in whatever language and they can't tell me 3 things that are their least favorite thing of the language, I personally don't believe that they've actually used the language. I've never touched a language where I'm like, I don't have 3 complaints. Just never touched a language like that. Maybe I'm good at complaining. I don't know. Maybe that's one of the top things on my resume. Very good complainer. But I like to see their perspective of like what's important to them in a language. I think it actually shows not it shows a lot. It shows that they know a language, because if they know it well enough to complain about it, but then also like what is their top complaint for the language, like, and why. Usually they will explain why. You don't have to ask them, but I think like that shows so much about them. I absolutely love it as an interview question. All right, I don't know why Java's still red. It compiles. Let's actually make sure. We'll go to a folder we haven't been in. So we are in Advent of Code. Let's jump over to Project Comprehension, into the Java there. Okay, it's working. It's working. We'll just have to ignore the red. Part of this is because Visual Studio doesn't know it doesn't know which project's which, and so it's having a little bit of a hard time. It's having a little bit of a hard time. So we'll give it a little. But yeah, all languages are flawed. And really, that goes to my not yet released but soon to be released video on AWS's blog, is know the tool, know what problem you're trying to solve, and understand the weaknesses of the tool. Because honestly, that goes all the way to the language. I think Rust is amazing, but there's definitely things I don't think that you should necessarily do. I mean, if your entire team's a Rust team and you're wanting to make a web server, I really think .NET is probably, I was playing around with it, with doing some of this. It might be the best thing to make a web server out of. It might just be fantastic for that. Like a front-end API. It might be fantastic for a front-end API. I might acquiesce to that, maybe. Not that I've done it, so I can't really say. But they have like all the middleware, every middleware that you would possibly want. They have like all of the nice things for protobuffers. You can literally build your Swagger off of your API spec. So like those things seem really nice to me for that. Those things seem really nice to me. And it doesn't need to be performant because it's just really relaying requests to the rest of your infrastructure. It's also fairly easy to read. I think it would be easy for somebody to get into. Let's actually build these C# projects. Let's go into one of these and build it. Because that's the next thing that we need to do is go here, go back one more, and then go to C#. And then we'll go, oh no. Have I made mistakes? I have made mistakes. Let's see. Yeah, this is not. Oh, so much work to do here. There needs to be a project in each one of these for each one of these. It's actually a very big list. The next thing, tomorrow night, I'm probably going to stream tomorrow night as well. Tomorrow night, my plan is to actually work on some of the Excel spreadsheet. Probably not Excel, probably Google Docs for keeping score. We'll just try building this as it is now. Anyways, okay, so when I installed this, what was it that I installed? It wasn't called C#. One second, I'm blanking on it. I don't want mono stuff. .NET Linux. I think that's what you have to install Linux. All right, here we go. Here we go. Biggest issue with C# is all the legacy solutions that were written by pattern engineering. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. .NET. That's what it's called. It's called .NET. I never did this. I just had this. I think there's a .NET run. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to do this for my own sanity. Just because I don't work in these languages every single day, what I'm going to create is new file. How cheat sheet. How to run the projects. Java. It's this command. Gradle-lu. No, it's Gradle W. Gradlu. I'm going to call it Gradlu. It's Gradlu run. Okay. Python. They're not wrong. I didn't really need that one, but I'm going to put it in there just because. I don't even need Python 3, to be fair. I only have Python 3. I'm not one of those yippies that uses Python 2. The abstraction I find to be kind of the same as the microservice. Google had this problem, or I was part of this really big monolith where these layers of abstraction solved this problem and allowed us to work as a larger team on the same code base or something like that. And yeah, Yeah. Note. That's not the note that I was going to go with, but that's an acceptable one. I wanted to put this in here. You might want to put the following in the... The only reason I'm trying to actually do projects, because I was just going to do like files that couldn't even run, but if I have the project open and like when we're doing this for real, I'm going to actually just open up the single project. My hope and goal is that will actually make it the best chance, because there's going to be the language server. There's going to be the, all of those things are going to be there to hopefully give it the best. It's supposed to be as like close to real life as possible. At least that's what I'm trying to make it. All right. All right. So we have the .NET, the Python, the Java. Which other languages are we doing here? We were doing more than we should. Java, JavaScript. The JavaScript is just run through npm. So that would be just dev. I made it dev because I couldn't think of a word to put there. So let's throw that in there. Just since we're making the cheat sheet. Java, Python, Rust. Stop recommending C# or C++. Not actually doing it. Cargo run. Nice. Swift. Let's do Swift. I think it's just Swift. Yeah, okay. That's right. You can do go run main, this is fine. You can also just do like the oh my gosh, this. Go run // but this is fine. All right, cool. We got our cheat sheet. That is the old C#. What guide are you following? I thought they removed that boilerplate these days from modern C#. What guide? I am following this .NET 7.0. This right here. It starts with the C#. If you open this up, let's look at the C# project. It's fairly straightforward. This is just like, I don't know, boilerplate stuff, but like the solution looks fairly simple. Like obviously way more verbose, but like it covers a bunch of stuff. And then it just has this, which has the right line in it. Which kind of seems to be the main function, because this just runs, like you can run stuff like programmatically, which seemed a little weird to me, but you can. Yeah, this is main. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I don't mind the namespace and boilerplate. I actually would prefer like a like I don't know, void main function. Like that. Like just let me stipulate the main function, that way I know where it starts, but it's fine. I'm not complaining. I don't write it very much, so. All right. I'm thinking about getting rid of this web server project because I feel like the active feedback we're going to cover web server, and I'm trying to reduce so that we have. I don't want to rush anything that needs time, and I'm not going to. But I also don't want to do things that are repetitive and overdone. So I thought we were going to build a web server. I don't want to. I think I don't think we need this, honestly. I'm going to leave it there for right now, but I think tonight I'm going to just delete this piece. I wanted to like just write the standard microservice web server. Try to do some middleware. Yeah, that actually feels good though. Can we do that in the active feedback? I feel like maybe we can do that in the active feedback here. So the stuff that we were going to do in the web server, maybe we can add into this. I feel like we were talking about, like uploading image, OAuth for middleware. Let's do these in the active feedback. Does that feel okay? Standard microservice things. Write a function that takes a string and returns a string. Nope. You got one correct though. We'll start with one. To upload an image and return the 3 primary colors, 3 OAuth. All right. So are you saying to do the web server stuff then as like a real world web server without any of this stuff that we did previously to have active feedback? Because I do think you're right that it's more real world tasks. The advent of code and competitive coding really. Okay, so there's a reason I did advent of code. And the reason I did advent of code was because it's a fairly good increase in difficulty. The second reason I did it is advent of code always, if you get the first answer correct, they always tweak the problem in such a way. And I really want to see how it deals with that tweaking of the project. Like, if it gets day one correct, can it handle the tweak to the code? And if so, did they also write their code in a way to get changed later on? Or is it a complete rewrite? Those are the types of things I thought for advent of code. So I was thinking about adding the web server stuff to the active feedback. This is where we were writing stuff to see if they could do function correlation, to do the standard libraries. And I was thinking we could just add the microservice stuff to this. We can always break this out if it gets too large of a category, but it felt like some of the same stuff anyways. And maybe we can thin out some of this stuff. We don't have to necessarily write. You know what? Let's actually thin some of this out. We don't need to do a binary and a JSON file. I know binary is maybe a little bit more tricky, but Yeah, and then the REST request. This is make a REST endpoint to upload a server. Upload a server. Make a to upload an image and return the 3 primary colors from it. The reason I'm doing this is it's to actually do something with the so Russell, I would say this. I've actually thought about this one specifically. It's better if it's writing more flexible code, as long as that flexible code doesn't have like a massive penalty to performance or something like that. I think it's better for the flexible code because indubitably, I believe that's a British word. I'm not sure I understand it properly, but inevitably is probably the better word for me to use. And it's going to end up where a human maintains or has to update that code. And so for me, I think I would want my AI to write something that is easy to update in the going forward. I think that was my thinking on it. But maybe that changes because you're right. If the AIs are good enough, then maybe it's fine. Yeah, maybe I haven't thought hard enough on it. Oh, for Advent of Code, I mean, sure. If you're trying to, I'm trying to find out which bot is the best. Which of the bots is best. It's not specifically for Advent of Code, but I guess we will understand which one's best at Advent of Code if you want to cheat. I will stress, though, when we're doing it, this is not so that you can find the best bot to cheat at Advent of Code, because the part of doing Advent of Code is learning. That's like the really important part. So. Is it really just recommending my part 2? Ugh. Okay, we want to what is a microservice-y thing to do? Make a post and a get endpoint. We'll leave it for that. All right, I'm going to delete the web server one. And we will do it. I'm not saying we're not doing it. We will do it. We'll just do it in the active feedback. Since we're already there, already trying those things out. We're already going to see how well it knows standard libraries. I think that will be a fine judgment. If people really like this and people really get into it, we'll do a bigger one next year, and we'll spend more time on building a bigger thing and testing them even better. We could do like on Twitch there's like those video game tournaments. We could even do like a bracketed tournament of some sort. That could be kind of fun. We're not doing that this time. We're not doing that. All right. configuration. So we have a Nginx deployment service. I thought maybe we throw Ansible in there because I know a lot of people use Ansible. I haven't used Ansible for a very long time. Maybe Terraform. Maybe Terraform would be better. I could speak more aptly about Terraform. I'm gonna put, hey, it guessed Terraform. Okay, so I think I got competitive code done pretty well. So for each one of these, I have a problem, and this is literally going to just be copy and paste into each AI. So I think this should go fairly quickly because it should just be a copy and paste. Because I think what we're going to do for Advent of Code and competitive programming, we're going to take its ability to understand, not prompt engineered. I'm a new engineer. I want you to do this for me. That's what they're going to get. You're going to get this function, and we'll have a second prompt. So we'll have two prompts. So they have, maybe two ways of understanding it, just in case. There'll be two prompts. So if it doesn't get it on prompt 1, it will have prompt 2. And in prompt 2, I'm trying to give a little bit more information. So this was kind of hard. Matrix rotation is actually a fairly easy concept to understand. But let's see, sparse array. Yeah, sparse array. The sparse array problem, I actually gave an example in the second prompt because I didn't know how to word this easier. If you have an idea tomorrow and you make a pull request, or actually, if it's you, Russell, you have ability to just commit to the main branch there. If you have a better way for this prompt too. I tried to word these really well though. Write a function that takes an array of input strings, an array of... Actually, let's ask ChatGPT this right now. I was actually using this as like a... I was switching between some of them and asking questions to see how well they responded to things. And so like I was trying to do them right. I wasn't trying to make this difficult. I actually I spent some time doing this. I actually pulled up Cody and did the same thing. I don't think Cody's going to do very well at this. One second. This is another question I want them to do on the competitive programming. So okay, let's actually put that in here though. I want to remember that time and storage is actually a good one. That was something I thought about the other night while I was laying in bed, is that I wanted to ask it. Now, I'm going to, spoiler warning here. There's actually a more efficient way of doing this. They're getting the brute force way. Which is actually kind of a point that I want to make to people, is you can't just accept it for what it does. You're the engineer. It's a tool that should speed you up, but it's a tool. I might have picked the sparse array on purpose because it might be one that I have found that it just fails. Absolutely. You know what? I think that's actually a failing of like interviewing. Interviewing asks you time all the time, like CPU time, but there's also storage. Memory can, and actually, a lot of the times, there's a lot of problems where you can sacrifice memory for time complexity. Like it can be an exchange where you save time complexity by adding memory complexity. Have it explain itself. Actually, they did a good job of explaining themselves. I'm gonna put this. I am going to put this on all of them. So yeah, I worked on the prompts for the competitive programming. I decided that I wasn't going to. I thought about going to the Advent of Code ones, but I think we're just going to copy and paste those as they are. That's going to be the test. These are meant to be fairly well worded for an AI. Again, I want prompt 2 to be better than it is. I haven't been able to think of a better way. Again, because I tried this to be the best way, it's hard to come up with a second best way. A lot of times that was just giving an example. And again, hopefully next year it's better, because if there's people that get involved and make contributions, they can think of things like this. I'd also like to think of these competitive coding questions where we actually think of specific ones. Like I said, the sparse array was one that I picked because I knew that it was a tricky one to solve efficiently, but actually a fairly easy one to solve brute force. It's actually really simple to solve brute force. It's just 2 loops and with one loop with an inner loop. Like, it's simple, but that's not really good way of doing it. So, I mean, if this was a real problem that anybody ever actually had. Okay, let's throw this on each one of these. That was wrong. I didn't update this at all. Yeah, so this one I did word kind of differently. So the first one was like asking it almost like from a first person perspective. I want to share a chocolate bar with another person. Each of the squares has an integer on it. I only want to share a contiguous segment of the bar such that the following requirements are met. The length of the segment matches the birth month of the person I'm giving it to. It doesn't talk about there being a function. It really just talks about my problem. And then this one kind of writes it how an engineer would. I don't know if this is a good test or not, honestly. I want a function that takes an array of contiguous integers and a birthday in the form of this. I only want to return the number of contiguous segments of the array that meet the following requirements. The length of the segment matches. I feel like okay, I guess this was my thought. Subarray division, this was a test of how they deal with the prompts. because I feel like this is how somebody newer is going to write it, and this is how somebody more experienced is going to write it. With the sparse array, it's very much like, is it going to come up with a good solution? And then matrix rotation, I don't have anything behind this. This is just a hard problem. It's just a tedious problem. It's a tedious problem. Let's say that. It's a tedious problem. I've never actually done it. I have an idea of how I might do it. And that's actually something that I'm going to solve because it looks fun. It looks fun. Not ever useful, pretty much. I'm pretty sure never useful, but it looks fun, at least. Okay. Please feel free to look over those tomorrow. I'm going to tweet out tomorrow morning for everybody to look over them. The person... You know what? That's what I'm going to do. The person tomorrow that gives a contribution is going to receive one of these. The most contributions tomorrow. Can I legally do that? I don't know if I'm legally allowed to do that. I will have to look that up tonight. If I can legally give somebody a prize that gives the most useful contributions. That actually might just give a lot of garbage contributions. Never mind. I thought that would be fun, but that sounds like a headache. Sounds like a headache. Well, I'm going to see if some people want to contribute. All right, so now we have our active feedback. We're going with that. Active feedback, the nice thing is we only have to do these with each language with 3 different ones because each one of these are the only ones that do active feedback. All right. Configuration doesn't have the different languages, but we do have each of the projects. So let's actually make each one of these. So yeah. Sorry, I'm using some of this time to actually think about how we're going to go through and do these. Code Whisperer. All right. So we'll just have it write their configuration. So actually what I'm going to do, you see there's the 2023 here. This is going to have a folder in it called results. But it's also going to have this AI games copied into it. So like this is basically the template, the AI games template. This is like the thing that we're going to copy and paste into here. We're going to put all the code that gets generated is going to get generated into here. And then we're going to store the results in here, like in a CVS. Like I'm going to take whatever the Excel, Google Doc, results, and I'm going to export them and I'll save them in here. So that's raw data. If somebody wants it, they can, get the CVS file, or they can go and click on the link if they want the pretty in docs. All right, so we have our 3 categories right now: active feedback, advent of code, competitive, and configuration. Project comprehension. This is where we wanted to ask our AIs about our code base. Do we want to write I don't know. I don't know how we want to do this because partially I feel like I need a project for each one of these. And then there was 2 ideas that I had. One, I can go and get a very popular C# project. I can go get a very popular Go project, Java, blah, 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 and slam them in here. And then ask them about those. But the problem is, I also think this gets to the point of, It's not for every single one, and really only Kodi can do this. Only Kodi can look at the files that are there and know your code base, so I would really only be testing Kodi. But I think that's a super cool thing that Kodi can do, so I want to cover it. I just don't know how to do it well. I mean, to do it well, I feel like I have to have some sort of competition that somebody else can do. And shoot, we don't even need it against all the languages. I just don't know how to get. The only thing I could think of is doing something like tell me about this Rust code. Oh, 1 second. I love how it calls it a simple program. Thank you. So the only problem with this is it locks it to a single file. But maybe that would be good enough to show, like, hey, while ChatGPT or others can give you advice on a single file, Kodi can do it across them. Oh, I like it. There are problems that give you a complete function, but it has an error and you have to fix it. So the thing I like about Kodi is it can tell you, like, what is the most used language in this project? It can tell you stuff like this, which I do want to show off, but maybe that's a good idiomatic test of it, though. I mean, this is a tough question because again, like, there's about equal number of files, so. It got some biasness. It's good. Based on your hint. Okay, sorry. Having some fun there. Let's go back. Okay, so we need some functions. Should we come up with functions? Let's see if there's some functions we can just do. Functions with errors to solve. Is that error? No. Should we just create some? I feel like this shouldn't be too hard to create. Maybe I'll just go through and create some. This will actually be good because it will get me writing some of these. Out by one error. Okay. Let's start with Rust. All right, we're gonna make another function down here. Should we do it off by 1 error? All right. Good point. Good point. Good point. No, you're right. I was actually trying to get ChatGPT to write it for me. um. So I'm gonna say this isn't going to compile, but I guess that's fine. This isn't the mutable isn't exactly what I wanted to capture here, though. But I guess it's mutable because of this reference to it. Isn't really the off by 1 that I was. Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, yours is a better one. Perfectly working code. Okay, I'm going with it. But yeah, yours is a better demonstration. I think the mutable is like a good catchy one. I'm gonna put comments up here, just so that I know this won't be copied and pasted in. All right, this is fine too. All right, let's make this have an issue. So we'll do the first one. Like that. Okay, I don't care about the mutable. Borrow. It won't let me compile because of that. So what I need to do is I don't know why I'm having struggle with this. Don't modify this. Why am I struggling with the off by one? Because I'm struggling with how to make it a problem that it's off by one. That's what I'm struggling to do. Like, usually an off by one or is because, I mean, you could like access one past the line. Oh, actually, let's do that. We could just do this. This is kind of dumb. Um, but I feel like that's pretty dumb. Oh, do I want to sum the vec? Okay. Let's actually do that then. Let's do some vec. So I'm going to give it a hint of what we want to do. We want to create a sum of the vec. That's a good one. I like it. This is sneaky. I like it. I like it. Okay. Perfect. So let's just we'll get rid of this. We're just going to should we do a loop, a for loop for and this is interesting. It's just adding what is this even doing? Okay, this is kind of dumb. Should we have two problems in this, or is that too sneaky? Because really this should be like plus equal to the value, but we could just do plus equal 1, which would just be like how many things were in it, not the actual sum. We won't. Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do this problem twice. We're going to do it this way. This isn't off by 1. And then we can do it not off by 1, but the wrong thing. It's not summing it, it's just counting how many items are in it. And we can take a vec of. Do we want to take a vector of all right, and then we'll just get rid of this. All right. This can be this is fine. Another problem. One more. We need 4 of these at least. 4 per language. We'll do a That's pretty fantastic. Do not modify. What does it do? What does it do? Actually, we'll just give it the comment. But what should this code be doing? We'll do this. We'll do this. This will be a little bit. We'll do Urson. I know this is a dumb function, but 1 second. Bear with me here. Get age. Let's do last name, actually. And first name. And what I want to do... what I want to do is get last name. And what I want to do is just of a person. We'll return a string. But I'm going to return a first name. All right. We might try it both ways. If this is too tricky, if this just throws the AIs off, we will scrap that and we'll just give it this, without the comment. So this way it gets to tie a structure in. I don't know if this is good. I don't know. We'll find out. I really feel like 2024 is going to be a whole lot better. We're going to know so much more. Just running all of these tests will be helpful. All right, let's do the same things in Python. Oh dear. Oh dear. Let's do them in Swift. I really dread Python. I feel like Python is so easy and yet I suck so much at it that I really shouldn't. It's like, okay, one second. Before we get to, I brought this over. All right, so we're going to do def get last name. I'm glad that it knows that I want the first name now. My code completion is so screwed up at this point. At this point, it is so screwed up. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's going through. It's going through what I've already done. Cool. So this one is off by 1. We don't count one of them. Okay. And def sumvec. And this is the one where, yeah, we screw up by just keeping a counter. Okay. And we're done. I actually don't know how to make a type in Python. can you make a type? Types aren't a thing. They're just fake news in Python, right? They're just fake. Yeah, they did the data class thing. That's right. They're not fake news. It's an str. It's so weird having data types in Python. It hurts me a little. It hurts me a little. All right. Cool beans. So we got the Python. Nice. Let's do the JavaScript. I almost did TypeScript. I figured, though, out of the people doing front-end development, I figured people really would want to know what TypeScript or JavaScript was doing, even though a lot of people used, yeah. Function, get last name, return person.first name. I love it. All right, yep. Let's see. Does it do it? Looks good. Looking good. Now, is this valid? These can't have the same name, right? It wouldn't know which function to call. Did I make that problem in the Rust? Did I do that? I do. It wouldn't know which one to call. All right, so let's update this. We have a SumVec. This one's going to be SumVec. It doesn't really matter because we don't need the code to compile. We're just copying and pasting it in. So I guess it's fine. Never mind. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Because we're only going to copy and paste one in, and that's the most helpful thing for it to have is the word SumVec. Okay, never mind. All right. We'll delete this. I feel like we need at least one, maybe two more problems in here. So if anybody out there wants to come up with a problem that they'd like to see off by ones is a good one. I would say like null pointer problems, but some of these we could do that easily in Go. I believe we could do that easily in C# and Java. I guess we could do it in JavaScript. So the weird thing for me with like JavaScript is this thing could be anything. It could be anything. Just anything. And so it would actually be hard for the AI to know that that was going to be a null pointer. Actually, I would love to see like you didn't check it for null. Since this is anything like, but that's the problem is it is anything. So like, how would it decide to like this is standard operating procedure for JavaScript. So how would it know as a anything to check it for anything? I don't know. It's weird to me. Oh, you know what? I don't need all of these for Java. Because we'll just ask each of the AIs. We don't need a different project. So I'm going to delete this. No, I said delete. And now we need to go to cd Java. All right. So now what do we do? It was this Gradle init. Done. 2, 3. Yes, yes. Not yes, but default. Oh, this is the problem. And then it has Java. 1 second. Can't do that. Let's do this again. We have to not give it default names. Delete you. Yep. Cannot give it default because it cannot be called Java because that's a reserved keyword. I should have known. Project name should be bad code. And it runs. Beautiful. All right. Now we have a Java app. And so many folders. Look at all this. Glory. Ah, it's amazing. All right. Okay. So we need a let's put our little helper guide down there. So we just want some static functions. You can't do static functions in Java, can you? Like, you can't do just a pure function. It has to be on an object, right? Did they fix that? I say fix, like it was broken. I believe you cannot still. So we're going to make this part of our class app. I haven't thought about programming in this way for a very long time. Actually, interestingly here, I think I'm going to do it the most Java way possible, and we're going to create a person class with a method public class person. Oh boy, this is straining my Java fibers. Oh, perfect. And it recommended this. That's amazing. Okay. Can these not just be down here? I feel like they should be able to. This is proper, right? I think they can. I think they can. If not, the next time I having lunch with Ellison, I'll bring that up as a thing of future Java people. The Java way is the person factory. I'm not making a person factory. Should I make a person factory or see if the AI recommends I use a person? The real fix to this code is a factory. If an AI says that about the Java, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. Let me actually see if this code compiles. I feel like it should, but it doesn't. So I was so far off. I only have 13 errors and 13 lines of code. All right, well. Class interface enum. All right, I can't. 16. 16, line 16, can't do this. Ah. Ah. That almost fixed it. 49. I'm happy with one error. If I write this much Java, oh, I have all this garbage. If I write this much Java and only have one error, and that error was that I had Python included in it, I'm pretty good. Oh, wait. I'm still failing. Public class person. Why do we make this part of the language spec? This is like some of the same garbage I hate about. I actually like tools that are idiomatic. I do not like languages. I don't like it to be part of the language spec. I love that Rust will complain at me because I put a return in a semicolon and I don't need a return in a semicolon, because that's a tool that I can choose to not use, or I can choose to make a better one than Clippy if I wanted to. But Rust itself doesn't say, oh, you have to be... But no, this is Java, so I need to have a file. Person Java. Hey, that's kind of cool that VS Code just generated this class for me. Okay, I'm going to give VS Code 1 point for this. Even though VS Code isn't part of this thing, it's already on the board. What does Java C say for that file? Oh, I didn't try. I guess maybe it was Gradle. So good point. Let's try running it again. Now I'm kind of interested. Is that a Java thing? Or is that because if it's a Gradle thing, then I'm done. Because that's fine. It's an external tool. I think I can just use Java C straight on the file. No. That's actually a really good call. So this is in app, source, main, Java, bad code, app. Okay, so I stand proven. Java sucks. If it had been Gradle, I would have been like, great. That's a Gradle thing, and I actually really love those things. I don't dislike them. This is a fine paradigm to have. It's not the paradigm that I dislike. It's just that I don't want them to be part of the language spec. I want them to be not part of the language spec. It makes languages more flexible, and then when you have really good built-in things like, and I know that I'm just harping at you, Russell, which maybe I shouldn't. But like when you have stuff like Cargo that like just have such a good built-in support, and like Clippy and FMT that are just right there built in, it's a no-brainer. I disagree with Clippy, but I'd still go with Clippy because, like, yeah, that's what the community likes, and it's easy, and it's just there. Um, cool. Okay. So we have our Java. And now we will write our Go. Let me get my example back up. I just need to keep this along with me. Just to make sure that I was doing the same things for each of them. Oh, yes. I need to type, and then I need to type over here that it's a struct, because thank you, Go. A, yes, it could just move it for me. And two, you're really right about like no, that's not what I what the garbage? This is in a Go file now. Oh, and it's lowercase string. That's what it is. I was like, what is it? It's lowercase. Nothing. Cargo really is fantastic. I honestly like the it's one of the best things of the language. I like a lot of things about the language, but you maybe get my point. I'm also really interested to see if anybody will if anybody will recommend that this becomes a method instead of just a function. I'm interested to see the different performances there. We'll just pass in the good old slice of I32s like this. Actually, Go is not too hard to convert to Rust. And then this is going to return an int here. This is actually an int here. Oh, wait, let me do C# while you're here because I feel like you're about to pass out at any moment. So let me do C# really quickly, if you don't mind. We need a I don't know why it's like var game equals new game. This is what it wants me to do. And see it. Okay. Let me copy and paste this Python. It's like the cleanest, most direct. That is not what I said to copy and paste, good sir. So we need to do like a public class person, right? What the garbage is this? Is this a real thing, or is Copilot just like crapping on me? Oh, is this is this the property sand tax? Is this like a getter and a setter? Is this like making a function that has like a get first name and get last name? So like I can just access this now like as a dot. Like here, let me just try to use it. Okay. I think I understand. It's been so long since I used C sharp. Let me tell you, C sharp. I used C sharp before I had a real job in computer programming, and I made a .NET Forms project. This was really long time ago. I don't believe they had this. This was before .NET Core. Oh, so you don't name. There are private backing variables for this, but this is just giving you the getter and setter for that. I think I get it. Okay. Right. The classic Java getter and setter. Right. We can use it just like this. It's just there. You can get it, and you could also set it equal to something, and it would. I have seen that. Okay. So let's see. We're going to delete this since we have our public static void main there. Now what we need is a function. Does C sharp support first class function? Can we do like public void some vec? Am I allowed to do this? This is what I'm not sure if I, or do I have to make it part of a object? Like, oh, static, public static. Okay. This is fine. I am so used to putting the return type over here that I've been messing up on that. I actually think I like the return type here. I actually think I like this syntax. Not a big deal with Rust. I really don't like the arrow. It's too many keys, but I would have preferred like colon or nothing. But it's fine. I think I like it better over here because for me, like, what's the most important thing? What does it return? I don't know. It doesn't matter really, I guess. All right, what's wrong with this one? This one, we get the right length, but instead of actually summing them, we just add 1 for each. All right. And then get last name is going to return a first name. Perfect. We'll see if this compiles. That was .NET run. I almost put a question mark there. Oh no! So many. Oh wait. That's fake news. I had the data class in here. Fake news. Calm down. That's That's easy. The modifier public is not valid for item C#. Oh. Top level statement must precede namespace and type. Oh, wait. Did I not put this in the namespace? I did not. I need to make this in a namespace, don't I? C# is... I don't know if that's acceptable. We're going to find out. Then I guess I need to divot these in. Namespace cannot directly contain members such as fields, methods, or statements. Well, this is just the SumVec problem because we have two SumVecs because we're testing two different things. So we'll just... I don't know what... One second, I gotta Google this. Expert Googler here. Actually, 1 second. 1 second. Just because... I tried to write some C#, but it keeps giving me this error. Help, please. Wait. Okay, 1 second. Well, I thought that there was a way with my vault namespace that you'll need a... You'll need to use class and main... Okay, so... I thought that was this. My public class program with a static void main in my Merrick's World namespace. Is it... 1 second. What did chat there? You have code directly inside a namespace without being wrapped inside a class or a struct. Oh. Is it complaining? 1 second. It doesn't give me the line, which this is... Oh, wait. Maybe it is. 17. I bet you... is not liking these. These need to be in a class. Oh, get last name. Oops. I just returned void on everything. I was very excited about the word void. I was very excited about void. That was my bad. I don't understand. Oh, non-nullable property first name must contain... If it must, how is this a warning? I don't understand that, but I'll let it be. I'll let it be. I don't care. It's fine. I'll see if an AI picks up on it. All right, but I'm not going to name this Merrick's World. And the only reason is I'm trying to keep my sarcasm out of it. Because I would like some place to want to be involved. That would be awesome. So I'm trying to keep this professional. I'm not like super unprofessional, but like with these little projects of mine, I do sometimes do stuff like this. This was a shout out to Wayne's World. What was the guitar? Corporate at 42. Okay, not that professional. Oh, let's see. I really don't know. I'm torn with Microsoft's namespace. I actually like the idea, and I think like I like namespaces better than modules in Rust, because I think Rust forces you to have some weird things. Either forces you to have all your stuff in one file, which I really hate, or forces you to have like these really ugly import paths and like things to import. Both are not good. And so I actually wish Rust would pick up something like a namespace, because I think like that would be really, really nice. But it's like, what is this? Main? I can just call this, or default maybe default. The AI games. That's it. That's what we're going with. Just want to make sure it still runs. Beautiful. All right. All right. That was... That's my problem with modules in Rust, honestly. Honestly, it's one of my bigger pet peeves with Rust is how they did modules, because I like to break up chunks of code. And let's say like you want to expose your entire REST API under one endpoint, you can't actually do it with Rust. Or like you want to have like there's a lot of things, like examples I could bring up where you can't actually do it because every file is a different module. I wish their modules worked like namespaces did. Now I think it's dumb that every single file in C# has one tab in, because it all has to be in a namespace, which feels kind of stupid to me as well. Because like the namespace should just be like the package in Go, where it's like package the AI games. And then, you don't have to have the curly braces. Everything in this file is part of that package. Now, I realize in C# you could really have two namespaces in a single file, but I think that's kind of stupid anyways. So, like, no need. Anyways, I got off on a tangent. I do dislike it in Rust. It's unnatural. I don't know how I feel about partial classes. Because the last time I saw one, I about threw up. Now, that being said, I'm going to go all the way back to my knowledge of Windows Forms. I know you just threw up too. Fair enough. You didn't ask about that. I actually liked it in Windows Forms, was what I was going to say, where you had like these two classes. One described the form, but it was still in C#, and the other described like the logic, and it was also in C#. That was kind of beautiful. Not Windows Forms. There was a lot of not beautiful there, but the core concept was kind of beautiful. In my opinion, which you didn't ask for, so I don't even know why I'm giving it. All right, we got Java, we got Go, C Sharp, JavaScript. Are we? Oh, we got Swift to do. Oh, it's been a long time, and I never really did a whole lot of Swift. I played around with it at a job. I was in charge of some Android stuff, and like I helped with some stuff on the iOS side, and like I touched with Swift like 6 times. I also touched Objective C. So this is really designed to be the language I don't know. And it's supposed to help me. I think I'm not going to write these. I'm not even gonna look this stuff up. We're gonna have Swift help me, or the AIs help me. Although that's really only a true comparison for the first one that helps me, but I'm pretty good at playing dumb, so it will be fine. It'll be fine. Maybe I'll read just a little on Swift. I need to know. Like, I don't even know how to like start here. Like function, it's not function. Funk, it's funk. This looked too much like Rust. I was like, did it just do Rust? I don't think so. Get last name. I need to make a struct. So struct person. Cool. Cool. I remember liking Swift actually quite a bit. I like how it does arc, so like it's pretty minimal for what it is. It's not like it has a big overhead. I really don't like this. Like, okay, whatever. Let's see. Return person dot first name. Oh, Objective C was the worst. You know what was the worst thing about Objective C? Is the fact that Apple made everyone use it. It was like the largest joke. Apple was like, we're going to make everyone use this language, and we're not going to update it or modernize it or do anything with it until, like, what, 2020, 2015? 2015, we'll release a brand new language. And while they have learned painfully to learn that old language, we'll just slap a new, actually good language after 10 years of toil. Apple. That was brilliant. That was brilliant of Apple. But I do remember liking Swift. That being said, like, obviously I know very little of Swift. Function last name. We got print there. Let's see, get last name. Oh, we need to func some vect. That looks correct, but we don't have our off by one. We need a different for loop. So, how do we do this? I don't know. While? Okay, that's cool. But I wanted, like, for I... maybe that? Maybe that? What? What? -1. Because we need it off by 1, okay? Yeah, dude, if I had gotten promoted to anything that makes a decision in Apple, that would have been my thing. Look, guys, Microsoft does one thing well. Developers. I've even seen a song and a dance. I'm pretty sure it was a song and a dance about developers. If Microsoft does one thing well, It actually understands developers. Like it's actually, you think GitHub, VS Code. Let's not talk about Windows. Let's not talk about Windows. Even Visual Studio, like the main Visual Studio is an exceptional project. And if you're doing something complicated in C++, like I did, it has some of the best C++ debugging tools I have ever seen. Especially if you're talking about like memory in the GPU and the CPU, amazing. Um, yeah. Yeah, they do a really great job on developers. Some vector 1, and this one is just going to add 1. Beautiful. All right. Let's see if this actually builds. But I think Swift is fairly good. I actually think that I would write Swift if it wasn't so attached to Apple. Um, I'm not sure if I like it better than Rust. There's definitely things about it that I like better than Rust, but I think there's things that I like worse. One of them being the attachment to Apple. All right. There we go. We have our bad code. All right. Challenge. I'm gonna challenge somebody. Let me push this. Let me push this just so that I have a link to push to. Code. The AI games. I want to challenge people on Twitter. I want people to come up with something for that. Lots of stuff. I should have made more. Calling myself out in the commit. All right. Yes, I also just pushed to main. That is absolutely not what I meant to type. I went through typing the whole thing so I could go directly there. Yeah, games. Okay. You know what we should have done is we need to add. Ooh, Code Smells is actually a good one. I remember IBM pushing for Swift when it was first released. I think they were the first to use it on non. Oh, really? IBM uses it on non-Apple ecosystems? I think it's viable to use on these are some of the things like the like cyclical complexity would be another cool one. Let's do the large switch. Again, we're all working in this the AI games folder, which is kind of the template, which is going to be the living part. 2023 will get committed and it will be, frozen then. And this is going to be what we're working on and hopefully I would love it if something like Hugging Face would love to collaborate with me to make it even better. Yeah. So we'll see. And other people from the community as well. So we'll do long method. Not a large class. I just don't want to type out a large class. Maybe a large switch. And then off by 1. What's a magic number? Is that just a number that is like hard coded in it? Is that what they mean by magic number? I don't know what they mean by magic number. We have off by 1. We also have bad logic. Bad logic. Bad function name. Because it actually just counts the number of objects, and we have it as the name of the function is sum. I think there's 2 ways the thing could look at it. They could either fix the function name to be, count vec, or they could fix the function to actually sum. I would be okay with either. Incorrect comment, and we did do the incorrect comment and incorrect return. Okay. Yeah, when you have a limit, but it's not declared as a const, it's just pushed into a formula as a literal. Okay. Okay. That makes sense for the magic number. I need to get like a straw or something. I need to stop drinking live. All right. That is that spelled correctly? It looks really wrong to me every single time I see it. I think I probably searched it though because I wouldn't spell that word. I wouldn't spell that word like that, which makes me think it's spelled correctly because I wouldn't spell it that way. One second. Cone of silence. Just gonna pull up the Twitters here. I'm gonna do more. I'm not done. I just wanted to make this tweet while I was thinking about it. I'll probably challenge people again tomorrow. All right, let's see. I need your help. Working on Oh my gosh. Recommendations. There we go. Now, do I do the hashtag game here? Hashtag AI. AI. I don't I don't get what these are. Can I just do hashtag AI? Major League Baseball? Basketball? Something. Live tweeting. Tweeting has never been as exciting as live. The tweet's been tweeted. All right. Onward. All right. We have project comprehension. Configuration. I still am struggling with configuration. I am still struggling with configuration. Let's see. Set up basic EKS cluster. Let's do GKE cluster and AKS cluster. I don't know if those are good ones or not. I don't know. I don't know if these are good. I don't know. I don't do these often enough to. I was thinking like create a playbook to security harden OS. Let's see. Let's give it a specific Debian OS. I will see. Like, I feel like some of these we'll get into and we'll be like, no, this isn't actually good. It's not. None of them do it, or something like that, which might be good to report anyhow. But like, I don't know. If it doesn't do the playbook for Nginx, we won't do any of the other ones. I mean, if we can't get them to even do this, and we'll even play around with the prompt. With these, I do believe we'll do prompt engineering. So let's actually put that in here. Go to the GitHub of each tech and look at the issues. One will be bound to be a badly configured issue. You're right. Do you want me to do that for the issue? Like take the actual issue for each one for badly configured? Or are you wanting me to make a bad configuration and ask it what the recommendations for the configuration would be? Like I could make an insecure Docker file like by exposing a bunch of stuff and then ask it for a recommendation on it? Or are you asking, I guess I'm trying to understand. Okay, if I can't think of something. Okay. Maybe that would be a good one. Okay. I might do that instead of what I have because right now, like, what I have is too generic. I might like one generic one, like make me an EKS cluster. Let's see what it can deliver on that in that regard, but we don't need to do much more than that. So for these competitive coding ones, uh, said loose English, but I meant general English. General English versus beginning a well-constructed prompt. If the AI is unable to code the general English prompt, it will be given the well-constructed prompt. This will deduct 1 point from the AI score. Okay. Just trying to formalize some of this up a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. It will be a little bit fluid as we get into it and see how it's going. I have been testing some prompts and stuff out just to make sure like I'm not completely off the hook, like off the rails. But I am trying to keep it as what do you say when it's like organic? I guess organic would be the word. I'm trying to keep it as organic as possible. If you can find something in the CNCF that needs collaboration between 3 or 4 projects, that might be a nice thing to ask it to set up. Okay, you mean like set up Kubeflow? I can tell you right off the top of my head one. Kubeflow. It's the worst. Let me actually write these down here though. Okay. I'm writing them down here. Ideas. Oh, Fluent D Elastic Kibana. I like that one. I'm gonna put this under Kubernetes. Create a configuration for Kubernetes and deploy it with search Kibana and Fluent D. That's a good test. That's a. I doubt they do it. I honestly doubt that I can prompt the crap out of this to get it. The idea is to understand if the even if it takes prompt engineering to do so. We should probably time bias the score towards the AI as it can do it without prompt engineering and take into consideration the amount of time it takes to do the prompt engineering. Yeah. Like I said, maybe in the future we'll get like a really good set of like this should take 5 minutes. If it takes more than 5 minutes, you start deducting points. I'd like to make it as analytical as possible, but you know, I don't know. All right. Is there anything major I'm missing as far as the high level tests? I'm going to be working quite a bit of this on Friday, tomorrow. I have some like stuff for the stream as well that I'm working on, but I'll be working on some of these, testing these things, making sure the projects are all set up. I'm going to be creating the 2023. I'm going to be copy and pasting this into 2023 at the Friday night, tomorrow night, because that's where all the code will be submitted for it. Because one thing that I would love to do is diff in a year, be able to like with this the advent of code and the competitive programming, I should be able to diff what the prompt, what it's how it solved it today with how it solves it next year, which I think would be super cool if nothing else. Even if we change this in the future to say, okay, well, we're not going to do matrix rotation, we're going to do something else that makes more sense. I will still do the matrix rotation just so that we can diff the code that was generated 2 years ago or a year ago. I think that will be super awesome. Okay, so we have active feedback, how it actively feedbacks. In the active feedback, we have standard microservice things. If you can think of something for the standard microservice that we need to do in there, great, put it in there. Does it understand the standard libraries? So like again, I don't mean obscure ones, but I'm talking about literally the STDs and maybe like the Tokyos and those like the really core ones. And then like function correlation, does it understand the code that you've written previously to help you solve the code that you're writing now? Is there another group in here? Is there something else we should do in the active feedback? Advent of code is really just testing how well it can deal with a straight prompt. No prompt engineering. Can it do day 15? Yes or no. Can it do day 15 part 2? Yes or no. Competitive programming has a couple things that we're looking for in it. I think honestly we could probably add, like, just having 3 of these isn't that bad. We can probably add to these because they're going to be copy and paste mostly, since I'm getting them down to here's a prompt and you copy and paste it in, see if it solves it. If it not, move on. But I don't know that we need to do more than that. Configuration, I think, is where all of these are going to really struggle with. I think honestly all of these are going to really struggle with configuration. Do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to give bad configuration. I think that's something that needs to be done. I will find some bad insecure configuration. Bad either configuration that doesn't work. Let's do some insecure. I will have to find Insecure. But yeah, I want to see if it can catch that. Test. Cool. All right, but again, high level. So we are testing configuration, project comprehension. This is testing code. It's not testing the big level because that's what Cody would do. Like, I again in my YouTube video, I'm going to give it a shout out for understanding the large project, but that will be fine. This will be a good test as it is now. Is there another thing, another way that we should be testing these? I don't think that I can think of one. But if you guys think of one between now and tomorrow around noon, if you don't come up with it before noon, I'm not sure that we can add it. But what else could I want it to do with my coding? That's all I can think of it. I have streamed for 3 hours. I have more work that I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it off stream because I find streaming to be tiring and I have more stuff to get done. So I'm gonna call it a night for tonight. Thank you, Russell, for joining me. I appreciated your input. If you think of anything tomorrow, please let me know. Yeah. And I'm excited about Saturday. I hope people like Saturday. Oh, get raw code in for a guest appearance and ask him to bring a clustered cluster. I'm gonna message him. I'll message him tomorrow. Do you think that he would like to join in? If he would like to join in, he's more than welcome to. But he seems pretty busy. It would be cool to see how an AI did clustered, though. That's something he should do, is see if ChatGPT can fix his cluster. I'll do it. If he needs a ChatGPT contestant. Yeah. I'd be happy to do that with him. I'll bring it up as a collab that we could do. I think that would be a fun collab. One of us should see if the ChatGPT will help us break the cluster in a sneaky way. That AI is called Russell and Wordle. Yeah, we'll see how I get through this. I think I'm going to. I like the white monsters. I don't get them because, I drink my 2 cups of coffee with no sugar. Feel like that's fairly healthy for me. Saturday, I'm going to have a monster. One of those white monsters. I forgot to buy one of those, so now I'm going to have to go to the store. So I'm going to the store tomorrow, too. Because I'm 100% getting one of those to drink during the games. Now, this is horrible, but you have to sip that, so you have to have another drink, too. Anyways, I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for joining me, Russell. I really appreciate your feedback. You asked Code Whisperer to set up the cluster. Code Whisperer is garbage. Unless if they've made massive updates, I expect Code Whisperer to be the worst. I think Starcoder, I am actually kind of excited about Starcoder. Where is like where I can actually talk to it? I want to actually start. So I think that Starcoder is pretty awesome. Yeah, I think that Starcoder is actually pretty awesome. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about it. Especially because I'm excited about something I can run locally. Yeah, I am too. I mean, I don't know about Code Whisper. I don't know about Code Whisper is. I tried it. I couldn't even use it. I had to disable it. I'll have to re-enable it just for the games because it made me hurt. I was visibly hurt trying to use it. Anyways, I do need to get going. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you. I will see you. I might stream tomorrow night if I'm working on it. Want feedback, but I will definitely see you Saturday. All right.